Chapter 1, Information is the database of the universe. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them. Galileo Galilei. Understanding information. What is that thing that fills our world and universe? Our brains are overflowing with it and we trade it with one another daily. Is it not information? If you can understand that information is not abstract, an idea existing only in the brain, if you can understand that information is the most fundamental part of our universe, you will be able to grasp the whole of reality. What is information? Information is not abstract, for it cannot be separated from the physical universe. In fact, information obeys the same laws of physics as everything else in our physical universe. If someone was to ask me the question, what exactly is information? I would reply with the question, is not information facts provided about something? That is what is conveyed or represented by a particular arrangement or sequence of numbers, symbols, sounds, etc. One prominent dictionary defines information this way: the attribute inherent in and communicated by one of two or more alternative sequences or arrangements of something, as nucleotides in DNA or binary digits in a computer program, that produce specific effects. Information. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Like an answer to a question, information is knowledge, communicated or received. Conceptually, information is the message being conveyed. Information is one of the three fundamentals of our universe. The other two are space and mass energy, which work together as a binary conducting system for information. But I do not want to get too far ahead of myself. So I will leave the topics of space, mass energy and binary systems alone for now. We will revisit the subject of space, mass energy, binary systems and their functions in our universe in chapters 7, 8 and 9. Writing and language. What we term information was first taken hold of and truly manipulated some 5,000 years ago with the invention of writing. Writing, that is, the written word, the storage and transmission of information, is the most transformative, disruptive and creative technology the human race has ever conceived. Information truly pushed the human race and technology ahead with the storing and transmitting of information through writing. Even the human speech, when observed at the level of phonemes, that is the systematic organization of sounds in language, can be shown as a data system of information. Being fully aware of this, America's National Security Agency has come up with a new invention, a device that can decipher your words through things like closed windows, even when your voice cannot be heard. This new technology allows this because, every time you speak loud enough in a room with windows, your voice creates small vibration patterns on the glass of the windows. And the new technology is a bounce laser monitoring system that is able to pick up the window's vibration and convert the data, vibration patterns, back into speech. Thus, the vibration patterns collected from the windows hold within it the essence of the sounds, that is the spoken words. The organization of sounds within language is one of the fundamental systems which a language is considered to comprise, like its syntax, which is the study of the principles and processes by which sentences are constructed in particular languages, and its vocabulary, which is the set of words within a language. As will be discussed in greater detail as this chapter and book unfolds, our entire physical universe works on a data system that is completely digitized. In order to fully comprehend the phenomenon of our universe as a digitized system, it is imperative to understand how data systems and binary processing systems in computers work. These things will be discussed in depth with simplicity in Chapter 7 of this book. Collecting information. As mentioned above, information is not something abstract originating in the brain. But on the contrary, information has been here long before our brains were formed. The example is drawn of the speed of light, which travels at approximately 186,000 miles a second. That information was here long before humans discovered the fact. In fact, knowledge concerning our universe is all around us. And as mentioned above, information is knowledge being conveyed. Our discoveries, concerning facts about our universe, are not arbitrary, but rather, concrete characteristics about our universe. Because of a special receptive brain, humans mentally receive and amass the information that was already encoded in the universe long before humans came to be. And as we grow in information, more and more knowledge, in the form of information, is conveyed via universe, and received via our sensory tissues. The information is all amassed by a split coherent brain. Thus, we humans are growing in information all the time. The example of massing information is drawn of children in a classroom. As children we have sat in classrooms and learned different levels of mathematics. If trigonometry was given to us on our very first day of school, it would not have been able to be conceived, existing on a level too high for a natural child's mental state. Thus, we were taught math in levels, addition, then subtraction, then multiplication and etc. In a similar fashion, throughout the centuries, we humans naturally apprehend the information embedded around us in levels. Thus, Philo Farnsworth and Charles Francis Jenkins brought forth the invention of the television, not before, but after Joseph Swan's and Thomas Edison's invention of the light bulb. Information plays the vital role in human development. Thus, it is not only the essence to the lives we live, as shall be proven, but it is also the major key to unlocking the mysteries of reality. Information and the history of humanity. I once heard someone say, modern humans today, as a group, are superior to our ancestors. I had to agree with him. But then I said, but as individuals, our ancestors were superior to us. I said this because, some 50,000 years ago, our individual ancestor would have been a survival specialist. He would have had a detailed mental map of his territory with memorization of a great deal of information about plants, animals and etc. Survival would have required so many skills. His senses would have been extremely fine-tuned to his environment. Today our senses are fine-tuned only to our immediate environment. Also, because of our ancestors' daily routines, their naturally tuned bodies could be weighed against some of today's greatest athletes. In antiquity, survival as hunters and forest gatherers required superb physical and mental abilities in many fields from every of-aged individual within the clan. But this would all change some 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. Civilization. Our first great settlements were based around the 5 great rivers of the East, that is the Nile River of Egypt, the Indus River of India, the Yellow River of China, and the Tigris and Euphrates rivers of Mesopotamia. It was there at those flourishing watered grounds where the agriculture boom began for our ancestors, as they began gardening and farming as a major food source. They must have realized that growing and storing food was more sufficient than hunting when feeding large groups of people. With the rise of the agricultural age, instead of the individual possessing multiple imperative survival skills, individuals could now increasingly rely on the skills of others for survival. This meant that some of them could focus their attention and specialize in skills such as tool creation, hunting, growing crops, maintaining livestock, and even the inventors could create things to sharpen those skills. As early modern human farming became more and more efficient, what we call civilization was born. Agriculture gave us a reliable and predictable food source, which allowed our ancestors to gather food on a large scale for the first time in history. But the food sources required protection, of course. This led to communities living in tighter closed or fenced-in spaces. With the first early defense structures, the need for organization would have grown. The more organized we would become, the faster things would become efficient for us. Villages would be transformed into cities and likewise, cities into kingdoms and then empires with governmental rule to complement them. Connections between enormous amounts of humans living in the same areas would abound, which would lead to the opportunity of sharing and exchange information like never before up to that point in time. Systematic religious philosophies and ideas that explained our purpose in life would have also taken root. Scientific revolution. About 500 years ago, the scientific revolution began. The studies of mathematics, physics, astronomy, biology and chemistry turned our world upside down by transforming everything we thought we knew about our world and universe. The Industrial Revolution would follow shortly after, laying the foundational seeds for our computer age. With the invention of the computer and the Internet, and its evolution into mediums we all have access to on a daily basis, our world has become an information melting pot. Today we live in the most prosperous information age humanity has ever experienced. For instance, the average high school student today knows more about the universe at large than scholars just a few centuries ago. Information and ways of acquiring more of it has exploded in these times of ours. Communicating information. As humans, we are continually communicating information with one another. To communicate is to exchange information. The word telecommunication refers to communication at a distance by technological means, particularly through electrical signals or electromagnetic waves. Humans' earliest telecommunication technologies included visual signals such as smoke signals, beacons, etc. They also included audio messages such as coded drum beats, long-blown horns, and etc. These information systems of old have long been traded in by today's electromagnetic telecommunication technologies, which include the telephone, radio, microwave transmissions, fiber optics, communication satellites, and much more. Note, our universe is an enormously vast information system that works along the same lines as a computer. In the world of computer computation, an information system is the study of complementary networks of hardware and software, which we use to collect, filter, process, create and distribute data. As this book unfolds, the reader will come to undeniably know that our universe is a quantum computer of wonder with the hardware of mass energy, the substrate of empty space and the software, language, of numerical information. Was it not the Italian philosopher, physicist and mathematician of the 17th century, Galileo Galilei, who once said, "Mathematics is the language with which God has written the universe"? Galileo Galilei Mathematics quotes Brainy quotes. Chapter 2, Information and Number Theory.